Greetings, everybody, and welcome here to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So we are here to do a launching of a new show for Monday night. Not Monday night. Sorry. I got the wrong night here. So Tuesday night, which is ranking the songs of an album. That's really what it is. It's called Ranking the Songs is what we're going to be calling this show. So this show will alternate every second week. So every second Tuesday this will go, and every other Tuesday the album sides will go. Basically I wanted to do something more involved with ranking the albums, the songs on an album. I was doing it on my Wednesday night favorites, but I got so many other favorite shows that I was getting maybe one every 2 or 3 months in. It wasn't really pleasing me, and I had to rush sometimes to get them in, so I didn't really like that. So I decided to give it its own show. Even if it gets every second week is still good, so we get like 26 episodes a year. So I've chosen an album. This is my favorite album. Of all the albums that there is to choose from in the world, this one is my favorite. It wasn't always my favorite. It's been my favorite for about the last 3 or maybe 4 years now. Took over from Triumph's Just a Game, which was my favorite album for a good 30 years. Anyways, at least 30 years, maybe longer. Anyways, this album became my favorite album probably about 3 or 4 years ago. It was just inching its way up, and then eventually I just said, you know what, I like this album more now than I like that album, and I love that album, but this one I just like a tiny bit more. I think it hasn't burned out as much as the other album. That's what it is. It has more staying power, I think, than the other album. And all the tracks on this album, so normally I have 1 or 2 tracks I don't like. There's no bad tracks on this album. There's a couple that aren't as strong. They're like, maybe like a 7 or, like 7s out of 10. But everything else is like high 7s all the way up to almost a perfect song on here. So my favorite track and my favorite song are on this album. I don't know if it's my favorite song of all time, but definitely this is my favorite album. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. So what I'm going to do for this series or show, in case you haven't seen any of the previous ones, is I just take the tracks that are on here, all 10 of them, and I rank them according to how I like them, and give you reasons as to why I do. Most of it is just gut feel, like I know most of you people have listened to a lot of albums, and you get certain songs, you just really like them a lot, and then over time they just kind of go, well, I've heard this song so much, I'm just tired of it, so it no longer is at the top of the heap, and something else rises to the top. That's normally what happens with me. And with this one, it's been the same number 1 song forever, but the rest of them in the middle, they jump around quite a bit. So anyways, today's ranking of these songs is going to be how they currently are with me, and that's pretty much how I'm going to do it with all of the episodes that go forward. So the number 10 song, so we'll do it the way I normally do with any of these kind of ranking things, which is I go from the least to the best, or the number 10 to number 1, my favorite, from my least favorite to my most favorite. And in this case, there's no bad songs on here. You may get a few of these ranking shows where I actually have put a song on here that I don't really like, but it's because it's on the album, you got to rank it. But in this case, there isn't anything like that. So the opening number 10 is The Message, which is a small instrumental bit that comes, I believe, in front of Pieces. In front of Lord of the Rings. I think it comes in front of that on the album. And I do like this. It's just that it's short and it's not really terribly memorable, although I don't forget it ever. So it comes in at number 10. Number 9, I like quite a bit more. Aku Aku, another instrumental on the album. This one I almost liked enough to put in amongst the regular songs, but not quite enough, so it gets a number 9 spot here. Number 8 is the vocal JY song, The Great White Hope, which I really like. This is a pretty heavy track. I love that kind of boxing sound at the beginning, and he has such great vocals. I mean, these three guys are among my favorite vocalists, all three of them. And this song, even though it's in 8th spot, on most albums, this could be a #1 song. That's how much I love this album. So number 8, The Great White Hope. Number 7, edging it out slightly, is I'm Okay, which is kind of a poppy kind of, I don't know what you call it, kind of a poppy, upbeat, almost emotionally upbeating song, sung by Dennis, of course. Really good, catchy. It's one of those songs I used to sing quite a bit. Actually, almost all the songs on this album are regular songs for me to sing. I sing them all the time. There's some albums that are like that, and this is one of them. The next track up, Lord of the Rings. I do like this quite a bit. I believe this is another JY song. I think this this is definitely a JY song, amongst my favorite of his tracks as well. At times, this song has been much higher in the list than it is today, but I think I've played it a lot over the years, and I'm just kind of getting a little bit burned out on it, so it's going to come at number 6. Number 5 is the same thing. Both of these songs are very similar for me. Blue Collar Man, It's a Long Night, or whatever, Long Nights, sorry. This is Tommy's first of 3 on this, coming in at number 5. It's probably would be higher, except for it's just played too much. I hear it, if I hear anything on the radio at work or anything like that by Styx, it's usually this is one of the one or 2 or 3 that they play all the time, and this is one of them. And you just kind of get tired of it after a while. The next one up is another Tommy Shaw song. This is Renegade, which at one time would have been my favorite song on this album. Years ago when I first got it, this was the first track that I liked. And I love Tommy's voice. I think he is among my top 5 or 6 favorite vocalists. The same with same with Dennis. He's another one at the top of my my top 5 vocalists as well. This band is among the best vocal bands of all time, I think, and that's why perhaps this is my favorite album. So Renegade, number 4. Number 3, another Tommy Shaw song, Sing for the Day. This one, I've always liked this song. It's got that kind of sing-songy, kind of upbeat. It's kind of like I'm Okay. They both have that kind of upbeat, kind of sing-songy type feel to them. And Tommy does a really good vocal on this. I do like the keyboards on this quite a bit as well. Number 2 is the title track, Pieces of 8. Now this song has been lower at times, but in recent years I've been singing this one a lot more. I love the great textures on this song. Just so good. I believe this is Dennis on the vocals here. He just really knows how to nail these songs so well. Number 1, easily number 1, the highest by quite a bit, is Queen of Spades. I love this track. It's my favorite Styx track for sure. It's my favorite on this album, my favorite album. And it's always been my favorite on that. Well, brief period that Renegade was, and then it took over, and it's been my favorite ever since. It's among my top 10 favorite songs of all time, I would say, probably in the top 5. And I just love this track. It's haunting. It's got that melancholy feel to it. Dennis's vocals are excellent on this. I love the lyrics. I love the heaviness of the guitar. It's a really moody song, and it has some personal touch for me too, but I won't get into that. But anyways, just such a great tune, and this whole album is just, to me, just one great tune after another. So I'm just going to reiterate them now. So from Styx's Pieces of 8, we have Queen of Spades, number 1, Pieces of 8, number 2, Sing for the Day, number 3, Renegade, number 4. Blue Collar Man, Long Nights. Yeah. I don't know why I never remember that part. Blue Collar Man, Long Nights, number 5. Lord of the Rings, number 6. I'm Okay, number 7. The Great White Hope, number 8. Number 9 is Aku Aku, and number 10 is The Message. So yeah, really, really good album. Highly recommended. If you haven't listened to any Styx, which I don't understand, but if you haven't, that's fine. Please, this is one of the best. Some people would say The Grand Illusion. I actually like this one better. Maybe because it was my entry point. One of the first albums I listened to after my Kiss days started to go over. My friend had a gold copy of the album, limited edition gold copy, and yeah, he taped it all for me, and then I got my own copy, and I've been happy ever since. So anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this episode, the inaugural episode of Ranking the Songs. I hope to see you next week when we will be doing an album side. So I hope to see you then. So take care and have a good day. Goodbye.